Good day, God bless. Welcome back, guys. My name is Zach Attack, and this is episode 60 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. All right, I'm going to start naming this type of video a no prep video. It's getting late, guys. It's like I think this is the latest I ever went live. It is, I think it's past 10 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock, 9:17. So, 48 hours in to this week's water fasting for weight loss. Just a quick update. I took I did the 400 calorie meals. Well, 400 chips, 100 point chips, and I did those meals for the whole 4 days I was eating last week, and I'm feeling it's having a great effect. It's making me feel much better on this fast. um I actually feel less energy, like I am so cleaned out. I took the where did I put that? I took my oh, it's over there. I took my colon cleanser after my 4 days of eating. Well, I took it every day of my 4 days of eating, and I could feel it cleaning me out good. All them vegetables, were great. And then the first 24 hours in of fasting, I still had all that food in my body. So when I took them, I took the double dose, and it was great. And I was like, oh my God, I went like 5 times while I was at work, and it just cleaned me out. Well, I took 2 of them this morning. And I'll tell you, I won't be doing that again tomorrow, because now my stomach is all emptied out, and I could really feel it. Like, I still have a jelly roll down here, but I can feel my stomach getting a lot flatter. And another guy at work today, who I don't even get along with that well, he came up to me and he goes, either you got smaller clothes or you're losing weight. And I said, well, I haven't got smaller clothes. So that feels great when people can just see it in you physically, especially because I had got the smaller clothes a few years ago, and then I'd gained back the weight, and those things, like I said in those first videos, 20 pounds ago, over 20 pounds ago now, that shirt was just popping with the buttons ready to just tick, tick, tick. And some of them had actually broke off of some of them, just had the wrong angle or whatever. But so feels good. I can feel my stomach getting flatter, like, especially, and I'm laying in bed, and I'm, I can feel my stomach, and it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel my ab muscles and my ribs, and but there's still, I'm not saying I'm skinny. I'm saying, hey, I'm being positive. I feel myself losing weight. I'm feeling great about it, and I feel very emptied out this time. Like I said, I'm not going to take those colon cleansers tomorrow. I'm probably not going to take them on my second, third, or fourth day of fasting anymore, because they work too good. I was all just cramped up with nothing to push out. So even though I feel emptier and a little more drained and a little more hungry. Like, I had just that empty stomach type of hunger. But like I said in some of my early videos, like, I've just struggled so long. I've been on so many diets, so many fasts, so many up and downs with my weight, that hunger really doesn't bother me at all. Like, it is not what makes me want to eat, which is sad, really. I mean, the journey I had to go on to where hunger it's not even what makes me want to eat. It's like pure dopamine drug is what, the dopamine being released from one side of my brain to the other, like a hit of drugs, is what has, motivated my food habits over the last 20 years, especially. But those 400 calorie meals last week, I'm not going to make a big deal out of using these chips, but they are helping me big time. Like, I enjoy it. Like, I see them on my desk. I usually leave them just right here, and I'll wake up, and I usually just have like an apple and a black tea. So that's like one chip. And then a couple hours later, I'm waking up a little more, I'll make some scrambled eggs and with some mushrooms. And, like, you can put like a whole pint of mushrooms. There's like no calories in that. And so you can count that. Like, let's say in the olden days, I would have ate 6, 7, 8, 9 scrambled eggs. And I used to cut that in half. And then the other rest of the volume is those mushrooms and onions. And there's just hardly no calories at all. And then you feel like you ate the same amount of food for very few calories. And then my salads, like, I'm sitting here thinking before I went live just now, I was like, man, I'm so excited to eat some salads on my next 4 days of eating. but my mental state is not like, oh, I want to do that now. I don't. I'm feeling 4 days of lose weight, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. And I'm telling you, um, I almost am tempted to jump on the scale. Well, it's only 48 hours in, but I feel I am either at 247 or below already. Or let's just, I think I'm probably at it. And it was funny because I had mentioned it the other day, maybe 2, 3 days ago when I was still eating. And I said, I don't want to get up too high to where it takes a lot of, 2 days to get back to 247. And then I realized, well, wait, that's pretty good actually, because you're just weighing the food in your gut. And then a couple of days later, that's all gone and you're back to where you weighed. And now I still got 48 more hours to weigh less, which obviously I will, because I'm not going to eat. So I feel a little more drained and a little more empty and a little more hungry, but I still feel great. Like I had a great day at work and I stood up a little too fast, which normally the second day of fasting, that doesn't have any effect on me as far as, because it's blood pressure that makes you get lightheaded if you stand up too fast, which is because you're so empty of calories. And I probably was not drinking enough water. Oh my God. I'm just as I'm saying it, I don't think I filled up my water bottle today at work. I must have. I must have drank some water. I'm going to chug some water right after this video though. And so that's a little negative. Like I shouldn't have felt that lightheaded on only my second day of fasting. So the third and fourth day might be a little tougher than usual, but you know what? I'll be a little tougher than usual then. And I still got off work. I worked my 12 hours, got off at 6:30 p.m., went straight to the gym and got a good hour workout in, maybe 45 minutes. Did a bunch of core, a bunch of crunches and ab type stuff. Did triceps, biceps, chest, lat pull downs. Did a bunch of weights, because I did the treadmill yesterday. So I didn't want to do any cardio today. Because I'm on that couch to 5K. If you watch yesterday's video, I talked about I downloaded a couch to 5K app. And it's just a very simple, jog for a minute, walk for a minute, jog for a minute, walk for a minute. It's simple to run a 5K. You can jog slow as hell if you want at first. Just get up and go. Just start doing it. It's so rewarding to have these gifts. These are gifts in your life, like giving yourself the gift of discipline. Learn how to enjoy the fight, the struggle, reading about like wrestlers and how just on average, let's say a college wrestler, just on average is so much more successful in life compared to the non-wrestler, just because they learn the discipline. There's guys they've wrestled, from preschool and through college. And so it's like by the time they're 40, they've still wrestled more of their life than not. And it has a great impact. That discipline carries into all facets of their life. And we can develop that same kind of discipline. I'm not saying you had to be a wrestler. I wasn't a wrestler. I got into different martial arts and enjoyed jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But speaking of jiu-jitsu, I've been doing the yoga stretching. It feels great. And as I was watching some stretching videos on YouTube the other day, I was watching martial arts stretching videos. And like before jiu-jitsu classes, for example, you do a stretching and warm-ups and stuff. And I realized it's like almost all the same stretches. It's like we did yoga. We just didn't call it that. We just called it stretching and warming up before the class. I mean, we did like the cobra and the downward dog and the baby's pose and the crescent moons, and we did all them stretches, and I just never knew they were yoga stretches. And that just reminded me when I was watching a video yesterday about it. So also, let's see, we were at 656 subscribers yesterday, 660. So we got about 13, 14, 15 new subscribers since yesterday. So thank you guys for jumping on board. Joining our community, and if you're not subscribed and you're watching these videos, which I see a lot of, have quite a large amount of views from non-subscribers, like tens of thousands. So please don't consider it, just subscribe, then consider liking, sharing, hitting that notification bell, smash that thumbs up button, guys. If yesterday's video, not to bash on my live viewers, because I love you guys, but there was like 15 or 20 people that came in and out of the live stream yesterday. And then when I got done, I went and looked at it and there was one like. And I think it's the same person because I get one like within like 15 seconds of my video coming on every night. And I think it's the same person. Their notification goes off, they come on, they hit like, and they sign up. So please consider liking. If you don't know how it helps the YouTube algorithm, it's what makes impressions show up on other videos. So like if I have a video about fasting and dieting and losing weight like I do right here, right now, and you like it, it makes it show up on other videos that are about fasting, dieting, and working out and losing weight and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, like I said, guys, this is the no prep video. I didn't look up my Bible verses or my motivational quotes or anything. I worked so hard today and I'm in a great mood, and I've been planning my trip to the Philippines, and I'm trying to book the tickets and figure out all the ins and outs and stops and everything. So it's going to be wonderful. Hopefully I can take a bunch of videos over there and upload them just with my cell phone. I might have to try to do that before I leave just to see. I know I can't go live on my cell phone. The YouTube, I think you have to be monetized to go live on a cell phone when you're a YouTube creator. But we'll get that all figured out. I can at least record the videos and then just upload them. And because I'll still be, I'll be done with the fasting 96 hours because it's past April 1st, but I'll still be grinding away to hit that 170. And my lovely girlfriend over there, she said I got to get down to 150. So that might be next year's goal, because I know that 170 to 150 is going to be the hardest 20 pounds I ever lost in my life. And hey, if she says do it, I got to do it. She's the queen. I'm just a king. There's no king is more powerful than the queen. The chessboard, the most powerful piece is the queen. She is worth 9 points. The king has no point value on the chessboard. Pawns are worth 1. Rooks are worth 5. Knights and bishops are worth 3. Queen is worth 9. And the king is considered invaluable because when the king is checkmated, the game's over. But where is all the power on the board? That's the queen. And yes, you don't need any, you don't need any women's group to make me want to love you and treat you like a queen and take care of you and be together as a team and take care of each other. The kind of woman I'm looking for is that kind of woman that wants to be a team, have each other's back, and just know it forever. I thought I had it several times, but these women did not. They did not have my back. So, guys, we lost 14 pounds. We lost 3 pounds. We lost 3 pounds. We lost 2 pounds. And we gained 2 pounds. Then we lost 3 pounds. Now, on February 8th, when I weigh in, or is that the end of the fast? No, February 8th, yeah. When I weigh in again, February 8th after work, I have to be less than 247, which I'm going to be because I think I already am. Just because I can feel my stomach. And it feels, and people are saying, oh, you're losing weight again, aren't you? Like they're finally noticing at work. They're noticing my buttons of my shirt ain't just begging for mercy like they were. I mean, they were screaming like to other people to help them, like get us off this dude's body. And then, so I just shrunk it up a little bit. It's kind of sad though. You can lose 23 pounds and it's barely noticeable because you're so obese. What did I say though? My BMI? I kind of want to look it up again. I'm not in the morbidly obese, or now they renamed it to extremely obese, not morbidly obese, which is the same thing. I mean, it's morbidity. It's because your life expectancy is considerably lower when you're that overweight. I mean, Google life expectancy by weight. It is the tiny people that live to be way over 72. Or Google the life expectancy of a 72-year-old, which is kind of funny. It's kind of odd statistic, because it should be like 0, right? Because the average life expectancy in America is 72. But if you Google the life expectancy of a 72-year-old, it comes out to be like 85. So the older you get, the better chance you have to be even older, because you didn't die from all the other ways that everybody else died. Guys, I looked on my analytics today, and I've been trying to get 5 live viewers, and apparently I had one like 20 videos ago, and I just didn't notice it when it happened. Oh my God, as I'm talking, and I talked about I didn't drink enough water at work today. I had my 2 cups of black tea, My water bottle was there, but I do not remember filling it up. And just how cotton choppy my mouth is right now, kind of feel back in the day when you just smoked a big fatty blunt and then you got this to cotton chops. That's exactly what my mouth feels like right now. Oh, guys, I wanted to show you this. If you don't know about fasting, I was brushing my teeth this morning and I stuck my tongue out and I remembered that I wanted to show you. Look how white my tongue is. And it's because my body is releasing so many toxins through my breath. So when I exhale, it is getting rid of all the toxins in my body. Look, it makes your tongue white. It lets you know something's happening, right? So Google it. What's happening? Why the hell is my tongue so white? So you want to wipe that shit off. Like I use hydrogen peroxide and rinse it out with water and scrub it off with a toothbrush. It's nothing negative. It ain't gonna hurt you if you don't clean it out, but it's gonna help because it's gonna be able to get more toxins out. So 48 hours in to the 7th round of 96-hour fast, down 23 pounds so far. I don't even feel like I got started yet. Like 23 pounds is the easy, anybody can lose 23 pounds. It's plugging away for after this 96 hours. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more 96-hour fasts, with 4 days of eating. And I am going to stick to this 400 calorie meals, 2, 3, 400 calorie meals. Throw in a 5 or a 6 once in a while if you want to, but try to keep it right around that 400 or even less. Like if you can eat 200 and then wait an hour and eat 200, it's training you. It might not be the best way to eat, but it's training me. If you're an overeater, if you weigh 315 pounds because you overeat every single meal for the last 30 years, like I did, this is training me to eat the small meals. And then here's what happens too. I'll get up and I'll eat my apple and drink my black tea and I count it as one chip. I'll look at the clock. Let's say it's 7 a.m. I say, you know what? At 8:30, whenever, I'm going to make some scrambled eggs and mushrooms and onions. And then I start doing stuff and I forget. And I look, shit, it's been 3 hours. And then I go make my scrambled eggs and maybe I add a little more and I make it a whole 400 calorie meal. And then, and I'm still hungry, right? Like, I've ate it's a lot of protein, but it's like your body just wants that fiber and that carbs to get filled up. And I was like, all right, I'm going to eat more in an hour or two, just you're going to eat because you're an overeater, right? You're going to eat more. And then you just I'll eat in a little bit. Well, oh shit, what is there to do? I'll do a load of laundry. I'll watch some TV. Leaving is awesome. Just leave. Just go do anything. Go drive around. Go for a walk. And then it's funny because you're waiting to eat again and then you'll forget. It happened to me several times. That's why the other night when I went live and or I was about to go live, and I looked down at my chips and I had only eaten half of them. And it was like 8 at night. And so I had only eaten 1,000 calories all day. And it was a day off of work. Well, those are the days I eat. So I'd been up since 7 in the morning. And it's so 13 hours later, I had only eaten 1,000 calories. So that's when I ate a little bigger meal. Like I ate like a 600 calorie meal. With some rice. I don't normally eat too many carbs, but if I'm going to eat bread, pasta, or rice, I never buy bread. I occasionally buy pasta, but not very often. I love like pasta with pesto, that green pesto stuff. What is it made out of? Parsley? Is pesto made out of parsley? Something like that. It's freaking delicious. I love it so much. Put a little butter and salt on the noodles and then put the pesto on top. Bow tie pasta with my vegetarian girlfriend got me eating that stuff and it's just so delicious. And then my salads. Anyway, my point was I'm learning to spread these meals out and keep them so little that I think after April, I know that I'm going to do it after April 1st. And I'm just going to stick with these meals and I'm going to see, let's say I'll go 2 weeks or something. And with eating the 400 calorie meals, very, very healthy, no processed food. Like I said, when you go to the grocery store, it's around the outside. All them aisles only have processed food. You know what I mean? That they don't put any fresh food in an aisle. It's all, canned goods and boxed goods and processed goods and packaged and bagged shit. That's all poisonous. It's just filled with poison to be able to, if you put, you know what I mean? If you put fresh broccoli in a chip bag and threw it up on there, you know what I mean? It would be just moldy as all hell. So that it can't be like that. That potato processed with hydrogenated oil and it's preserved with sodium nitrate to keep it preserved, which also is known to cause cancer in every laboratory animal they've given it to. Those are all the foods in the aisles. Foods are on the outside: fruits and vegetables, nuts and berries, meats, melons. You know what I mean? I haven't eaten a lot of meat lately, just half because of how expensive it is, and then other half because it's so many more calories to have a 400 calorie meal. Like, how big of a ribeye steak did I say I could have? I think it was like 4 or 5 ounces. And you know what I mean? That's a steak this big. And I eat that and I'm going to want more for sure. Where my 200 calorie salad is this big, mounding with tons of veggies in it and crunching on it, for 10 minutes. It's such a big salad, 5 minutes at least, whatever, 10 minutes. And it's a lot more satisfying. You just feel like you ate a big meal and you just didn't. You had hardly any calories. So that is why I'm doing the 400 calorie meals, and that is why I feel I'm real flushed out right now. I'm only 48 hours into the fast, and I feel like when I was weighing myself, like every day of eating, I just kind of quit doing it because I think it's kind of sidetracking me from just doing the right thing. It's like, what are you weighing yourself for? You're fasting. You're not going to eat for 4 days. You drink your water. What's it matter what you weigh? It just matters what you weigh at the end. And that only matters because we're keeping track on this video series. Otherwise, it would be pointless to weigh yourself. Just do the right thing. You know you're doing the right thing. But anyway, when I lost the 14 pounds and I weighed 256 right off the first 4 days, well, 4 days later, I weighed like 265. You know what I mean? Like, you gain a lot of weight back eating. But see, I didn't eat that great that 4 days. And the next week I weighed 253. But then 4 days later, I weighed 260, and I gained back, 7 pounds. And then the next week I weighed 250 and I gained back 5 to 250. And then I finally got down to 248. And then I kept it as low as I could. But then the next week I weighed in at 250. So I didn't even lose weight. So why I'm saying that is, though, like when I got to 256, the next day after eating at night and then getting up and eating breakfast and weighing in again, because I wasn't eating that good. I was eating 3 meals and snack. I got it written down, like what I did each day, 4 day of eating. And that first 4 days of eating, I ate 3 meals plus snacks. It says right here. And it was just because I'm just laying a base. I'm just going from like what'll happen. And I gained too much weight. I didn't really count the calories. I didn't manage the carbohydrates. I ate snacks in between meals, kind of like grazing. Like, that's how you get huge. Like, you're just a grazer and you just eat all freaking day. Now, the way I'm telling you this, I still am doing that, but I'm just doing it with such healthier food that it's not having a negative effect. And that's why I feel three reasons. One, I took the colon cleanser this morning, and I'm not going to do that tomorrow morning. It was just painfully, but it cleaned me out. I went to the bathroom a bunch more times, and just whatever could come out came out. And the way smaller meals and I had no processed food for 4 days. So there was no sugar, there was no white flour in my diet, in my body at the end of my 4 days of eating. And that's why after only 48 hours, I think I'm already below 247, which is my goal to get under that by the end of this 4 days. And I bet you if I check my blood sugar right now, I should look for a blood sugar monitor. I know I have some around. Maybe I'll just order another one because there'll be plenty of more fast to test it on. I have the ketosis strips where you urinate in a cup and then dip it in there just for a second and then wait 15 seconds and then compare it to the bottle. At the end of my fast last week, I was not eliminating ketones. I was probably in ketosis, burning ketones, but not for it to show up in your urine. Your body's got to be having excess and actually eliminating it. Then you really know you're burning a crazy amount of fat. If you test positive, if you test over 3 or 4, it's a little measurement of how many ketones are in your urine when you buy these it's a bottle like this big and it's just got thin little strips in it, and you pull one out and dunk it in there and look at it and compare it to the bottle. And it's got a 0 all the way to something like 8. And I don't even know what that number means, but if it says like, if it's yellow, you're very little. If it's pink, if it's dark purple, you're just crazy burning fat. And On my previous fast, like before I started this YouTube channel, I would get into the dark purple on like the third day of fasting, even the end of the second day. But it's because I was eating like super keto, like super strict keto on my eating days, where I had like no carbs in my diet, like less than 20, less than 10. It just as minimum as I was eating, just like steak and eggs and just very low carb foods. But I'm trying to change that up to eat because it's not very filling to do that. And it just takes a lot of discipline. And I don't think it's sustainable long term for me. If some people can do it their whole life, I just, now that I'm on the vegetarian or the vegetables and the salads, and I found a really good vinaigrette dressing, which I was bent because I went back to Super Wally World grocery store the other day to buy a bunch more of the raspberry vinaigrette skinny girl dressing. It's only 5 calories a serving. It has no, doesn't have any bad shit in it. It's just low. It's just water and vinegar, and it's, it's just super low calorie, but it's delicious. And it was only 2 something a bottle. I thought it was 3 something a bottle. So it was, and it's only an 8-ounce bottle. So I only make 2 salads, and I use that whole bottle in 2 salads, but it's only $2 and some cents. So I was going to stock up on them, and there's a row of all the different flavors, and that one was gone. People know that one's delicious. I'm telling you guys, chop up some lettuce, some pea pods, some cucumbers, some onions, some bell peppers, yellow peppers I like to use, and some cherry tomatoes. That's it. And douse it with that salad. It's 125 calories. And I'm talking if you chop a head of lettuce in like half, and put that in a bowl and put it, you could put a whole yellow pepper, 10 little baby tomatoes, and I chop them in half and throw them in there, and onions. And like I said, the cucumbers have hardly any calories. Everything I just listed has hardly any calories in it. And then the dressing is like 5 calories. It's a huge meal. I could eat 2 bowls of that and still be under 400 calories. Matter of fact, I should do that this weekend or this next 4 days off and see if I can even finish 2 salads like that, because I'd still be in and just feel stuffed. And that's another thing on the last 4 days of eating with these smaller meals and a lot of vegetables. Every time I went to eat, I was not really hungry because my blood sugar wasn't messed up. My insulin wasn't messed up. I wasn't having any spikes, any highs and lows. And there's so much fiber in you that you still feel it from the last meal. Because like I said, you can eat as often as you want. You just got to limit it by total in the day. And it's just a way to eat small meals so that you can train yourself long term. So like I said, guys, I think I have about 15 new subs since yesterday. Thank you guys so much for coming along and all I don't know how you guys are finding my videos, but like I said, I have some ads out for some of the videos, but then some of the other videos that I don't even have ads out have hundreds of views, and it's just showing up. And not a lot of people are subscribing though. So please consider sharing, subscribing, hit that notification bell so you be the first one to see all my videos and watch me go live. And I got 2 live viewers right now, and I got 2 likes. Maybe they liked it. They viewed it and liked it. All right, guys, we're coming up on that half-hour mark. This was like I said, this was a no planning, no notes live stream. I was joking with my coworkers today. I don't know how to edit the video. I don't know how to put in music. I want to make an intro video, just a little 15-second clip to put in before each one of my videos, kind of as like a little, start branding my product a little better. And I don't even know how to make the thumbnails. It's an embarrassing joke. But you know what? I'll just hit the live button for this for 6 months or a year, and I'm gonna figure it out. If I can find a wonderful woman that knows how to edit videos and make thumbnails and add music and transitions, and we can make some more. The production value is going to get a lot better, guys. It's going to be more than a shirtless guy with a video game controller and his chair and his games and his books. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be pretty fascinating, pretty amazing. I was trying to think of maybe a better name for my channel, though. I like Healthy, Wealthy, Happy, because it kind of, as far as what's the most important to me in my life is my Christianity, my faith in Jesus, my belief that he was the Son of God. He was here on earth. He was crucified by the Romans, but really they crucified a lot of people. They were just following along with the instigators there in Jerusalem at the time, the people that were screaming to crucify him. Whoever they may have been, I think I know, but maybe I'm not going to say right now. But being healthy, it's all over the Bible to have a healthy spirit and a healthy soul and a healthy mind and a healthy mindset, and then your body will be healthy. You don't focus on getting your body healthy. That your body, you're not going to get your body healthy, and then it's going to make you're going to become mentally healthy. No, that probably would cause mental issues. That you care more about your body than you do about your mental health. What you have to get healthy is your mental health, your emotions, your state of mind, your state of being. There's so many good philosophies and books out there, but I can't possibly recommend to read any other book besides the Bible more. I always tell people I try to read the Bible 3-1. I never do. I mean, I'll be honest. Like I'll go on a binge reading the Bible for hours and hours and hours, or listening to it on Audible for hours and hours, or just any audio book. But I have like 2 or 3 different Bibles on Audible, just to hear a different voice and different commentators and different tones of voice and enunciations. But I'll be up hiking, for a 15-hour hike, because it'll be multi-days. I get up in the morning and hike all day, and sometimes, because I bring extra battery chargers and everything, but I'll have my headphones on and with the Wi-Fi connected and with the Bluetooth connected, and I'll listen to the Bible the whole day. I'll forget to stop and eat. I'll forget to stop and drink water. There was times I went on a 3-day hike and I lost like a crazy amount of weight. I can't even remember. I think it was something like 28 pounds or something. Though. Of course, it wasn't fat. You can't possibly lose that much fat in 3 days. So it was just like underfed and dehydrated, and just didn't even realize it. So I had a little panic attack today, though, guys. I got on my YouTube little studio on my phone. You can check kind of. It's just a small little app, and you can kind of see what's going on. You can see some of your content and how many. Well, anyway, it was the middle of the day, towards the end of my workday, and I had 666 subscribers. And then I was like, no, go away. And I didn't look for a while, and I came back, and I swiped it, and I was like, 667, yay. So we're up to, we got to hit that 1,000 subs, and then we got to hit that 4,000 watch hours. So please, subscribe to the channel. Hit that that playlist and watch all the videos, so you can catch up to where I'm at, and you can that way it's documented every step. You're gonna see. I'm gonna make some better videos in the end, that when it's all done and I'm down to 170, 160, 150, whatever I get down to. Then I'll make before and after videos, and I'll have clips and look where I was. I'll clip from this video, clip from that video, and you'll be able to see me. Like I said, you can't see this eagle on my stomach. It was a butterfly, and it stretched out into a big eagle because I gained a couple pounds. So, but I love myself. I'm taking care of myself. I'm doing the right thing. Where you are is less important than where you're going, and my eyes are on the prize. My eyes are always uphill. My nose is always to the wind. My faith is always in Jesus Christ. I never want to quit. I never give up. On my hardest days, I just think of them as hard days. It's a hard day. It doesn't mean anything. It's like tomorrow, almost every time I have a bad day, like yesterday I was a little down, and one of the days last week I was a little down. And it seems it's kind of funny. I rebound and have like even a better day the next day. Then, just not an average day, but I'm just a little more amped up the next day for whatever reason. Like I said, today I felt I had like my stomach was actually grumbling because of those colon cleanser herbs. And after I was feeling like really like, oh my God, why did I take those for like 3 hours, 4 hours? Once it went away, like 4 hours later, it was all gone. I'm like, okay, I feel better. I remember now I did drink a whole bottle of water at work today, like a big 20-ounce bottle plus some black tea, and I'm gonna drink some more. And that helped it helped it go through me and get those cramps out of my stomach. But then I felt like just the grumbling of hunger way more than usual than my normal. Like normally 48 hours in is nothing, like I went to the gym yesterday, I went to the gym today, got tons of energy, but I just had more hunger than usual. And I just wanted to be honest with you guys. Like sometimes that'll happen, you just try, just go for it. I hope some of my subscribers can get motivated and don't do it because I'm saying to do it. Like get motivated to go get more information. There's so much more information out there, and you're like, well, what do I need your channel for then, Zach? It's like, because I'm doing it. You're not doing it. Like, let's start doing it. Start doing some 72-hour fast because you read the Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung, and do some intermittent fasting. Well, that's a great way. That's what he says to start out with. Like if you don't think you can kick off and do a 72-hour fast, just start doing like 16-hour fast, like eat dinner at 8 o'clock one night and then don't eat until noon the next day, 16 hours. If you can do that, then do it 18 hours, maybe don't eat till 2, eat between 2 and 8, or, go 20 hours, eat between noon and 4, whatever. OMAD is awesome. OMAD works crazy awesome. If that might be something I get into after April 1st, if I can control these meals, like I got it down to where I'm eating a 200 calorie meal sometimes now and feeling totally satisfied with that salad. And I'm able to stop eating. And a big part of that is to not have the shit in your house. I didn't buy any more snacky type shit like nuts and easy stuff to stuff in my crackers, just anything I had in my cupboard. Those first, 1, 2, 3, 4, like the first 5 for sure. The first 4 for sure. I was eating my meals. I got 3 meals and a snack. Then I got 1 meal and a snack. I did OMAD for that 1 week, and I overate like crazy on the OMAD, so I didn't do it. Then I went back to 3 lighter meals. Then I went to 3 light meals with some snacks. And then last week with the 400 calories was the best of them all. It kept me satisfied and was easy, and I didn't feel, well, when you don't overeat, you feel so much better. When you eat a 200 calorie salad and stop your ass from eating after that. And like I said, I don't have any almonds, cashews. Those are the things I just pig out on. I can't control myself with them very well in the past. I'm going to learn how to do it though, because nuts are pretty healthy. Some nuts, cashews ain't that great for you, but like almonds. What Dr. Berg say the best nuts were? Pecans. Pecans are awesome, but you got to buy like, you can't go to like your supermarket and buy them because they're going to be fried in oils, and you got to get like raw organic from like a Whole Foods place, or you could probably order them online, somewhere too. I might look into that, but if I had them here right now on my eating days, I'll eat my meals and then I want to snack on something. And so, like I said, there's just nothing here to snack on anymore. Even my jar of peanut butter that I was still snacking on a little bit, because it was kind of one of them bigger jars, and it was like half full, and I threw it away. And then I was like, well, what if I go gut it? So then I went and filled it up with water and put it back. I was like, I probably won't eat it now. And I didn't. It got thrown out and it went out with the trash the next day. So it feels good, it feels good to climb a mountain, to be looking up, to be pulling yourself up and making progress towards your goal, and some days, yeah, you just are stuck on the side of the mountain and you just hang on. You just hang on for those days. And then the next day you freaking start climbing again, and that's kind of how I felt this whole time. Like I've had plenty of ups and downs. I've had days where I was like, forget the YouTube channel, just go away. Just, you don't want to do it anymore. You're too weak and you're not going to be able to lose that much weight. And the next day it's like, dude, get on your freaking horse and run. We can do this. I'm only down to 247. And like I said, I'm not even down to the weights I've gotten down to every summer for the last, not this past summer of 2022. I dated the woman from October of 2021 and pretty much all of 2022, even though the last half of it was kind of a mess and breaking up most of the time. But anyway, it affected me because I chose to affect me. I'm not blaming her at all. She's an awesome, awesome woman. I still think she's wonderful and I love her, and I wish her the best of luck in life. Anyway, I didn't do my thing. I didn't get lose weight all summer long and feel great. But the summer before that, I was down to 222, and the summer before that, I was down to 218. And that's why my goal for April 1st is 218. Because that, I got down to those weights by like the end of those summers, like starting in the spring and then training for my half marathons that I do every October. And well, there's another one. I didn't run my half marathon this past October because I hadn't trained hard enough. And by the time I started training, it was just too late. I gave myself 12 weeks, 14 weeks, something like that. But when I was like 2 or 3 weeks out, and the half marathon was like in 2 weeks, I was not even close to ready. I wasn't running even like 10 miles yet, and terrible pace, and I hadn't lost as much weight. So it was just, I finally said, you know what, because I was pushing myself hard because I knew I could run it if I just pushed it, and I needed to lose so much more weight, and I just didn't. And I was like, I'm going to hurt myself. I was starting to hurt myself in training. And I just said, all right, let's just let that go we'll skip 1 year of half marathon. And then maybe I'll run 2 of them this year to make up. No, I will run 2 of them this year. So I started my 5K training yesterday. 8 weeks from now, I'll run a 5K. It'll be on a treadmill. I actually downloaded a treadmill 5K app to where it's programming. The training is really knowing that you're on a treadmill. So it's easy to like run for a minute and jog for a minute. You don't even need a watch or a pace counter on you or nothing. You can put the treadmill. And as much as people talk down to training on a treadmill, when you're a bigger dude, 247 pounds still, it is pretty rugged on your feet and knees and ankles and hips to run on the road compared to running on a treadmill. The 2 live half marathons and the 2 virtual half marathons I've ran, so 4 total, I've done at least 50% of the training on a treadmill, and maybe even up to 70%, because it's just the road. If I run on the road 4 days a week, my feet are just dying. And I have, Saucony Triumph 16s, $185 shoes, or even you can buy last year's model for $80-$90. I'm buying good shoes. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just too much weight banging on that road. So when I get down to 150, though, I probably can do all my training on the road. I would way rather run down the river. Now that I live right on the river, I can't wait. April 1st comes. The weather will still be swampy around here in Minnesota and rainy and wet on the running trails. But by May, it's pretty nice. And June, July, August is all awesome. And then September, then I'm training hard in August and September. And then October, run the half marathon. But I'll run one before that, too, just kind of an intermittent training one. I'll run one like 2 months before that, and then take a week off, and then train again, and run another one, because I got to make up for last year's no half marathon. Getting very excited though, guys. Like I said, this channel's not really intended to show you what to do, as far as like, hey, you got to fast 96 hours, you got to eat 400 calorie meals, or you got to be on keto, or you got to be a vegetarian, or you got to be a carnivore. Do it all. Do whatever. Try them all. That's what this channel is about, is do it. Quit talking about it. Quit planning about it. Quit thinking about it, and just start doing it. Post on here every day when I go live. Just wait. Zach's going to go live anytime now. And just, hey, I did my thing today, and I lost 5 pounds last week too. And we can celebrate together, and it's awesome. Do your journaling. Write down your goals, write down your daily activities, write down your motivation, read the Bible, find some motivation, find your favorite Bible verse. I did want to read, I didn't pull out my Bible. It's usually right here. What did I do with it? I was going to read some of Leviticus 11, because it talks about the health laws in the Old Testament. And yes, the Old Testament laws are still in effect. Jesus said, I came to fulfill the law, not to change it. He didn't change any words of the law. Well, how come we don't sacrifice lambs anymore? Because he fulfilled it. He fulfilled that law. He was the lamb. They used to sacrifice a lamb for the atonement of the sin in the Old Testament. After Jesus was crucified, he was the lamb that was sacrificed. So you didn't have to do that anymore. The food laws, he didn't change. They did not change. So I'm not being a hypocrite. Because I'm not perfect, okay? I'm not saying I follow all the laws of the Bible. I'm just saying they're there for us to read and understand and know how to be healthy. They're there to how to be healthy. If you eat bacon every morning for breakfast, are you going to go to hell? No, you're not. You're going to be unhealthy is what you're going to be. My mother ate bacon every day for breakfast her whole life, and she's not with us. And she went at a young age. And my brother too, never ate healthy, never worked out. Was in the grave by 40 years old. So I have, and my dad, same thing. He's still alive, but he's had diabetes since, like, bad diabetes, since he was in his early 30s, and now he's in his mid 70s. He's had diabetes in more of his life than he hasn't. So I got good reason to want to, hey, Zach, you got a little family history going on here. I mean, I already outlived my brother by 10 years, which is not a good thing because I would rather he be here. But it's a good thing that I'm still here anyway. Enjoy and appreciate life. It can be taken from you at any time. Love the people you love. Show them you love them. Tell you love them. Show them you love them more than anything. Kiss your wife. Tell her you love her. Tell her she's the greatest thing that ever happened to you. Tell her you never want to spend a minute of your life without her, and you can't wait to grow old, and you dream about laying in deathbed and looking up and seeing her eyes for the last thing you see, and then you close your eyes and go to heaven. Love your children. Don't. My life after my divorce, and I separated so far from my children that it's almost like beyond. Now they're all becoming adults, and it's almost beyond repair. And I say almost because nothing is beyond repair with Christ. But some of my children are not so on the Christ line either. Guys, I haven't built my my sweet new Lego car yet. But if you didn't see my last one from last week, maybe I'll do one a week because they're kind of expensive to be buying one every week. But look at that guy in there. He is cruising. Here, let's check him out. He's like, what do you think? He's about 170. I mean, no, he's like 150. He has got, those abs. That dude has flat abs. Of course, he has a flat ass too. We're not trying to, he needs to do some kickbacks or something. But he's working his abs. He's doing them sit-ups because, yeah, he's got the little tux on, and he is just flat abs. I mean, I didn't even notice that at first. I wonder if they have little bodybuilder dudes like that. What are these guys called? Like little Lego minis or whatever they are? They're super cool. All right, I'm going to be screwed to get this guy sitting down again, but I'll just jam him in here. He was kind of a tight fit before. Oh, I got lucky. So this was fun, this was a eating day, and I was like, you know what, Legos are cool. I've never built them as an adult. Like, I think my sister still has a huge bucket of Legos like that from when me and my brother were kids, but since then I haven't played with Legos. And then my ex-girlfriend, her kids and her, she probably had $15,000, $20,000 worth of Legos in their house, and those kids actually knew how to build them. Like they would build this, and I was so impressed. I was like, my God, little 7-year-old and 9-year-old kids are putting Lego sets together. So we're not together anymore, but I have fond memories, and this is one of them. So next week when I'm eating, one of the days, what day is it today? I don't even know. I know it's my second day of work. That's what I know, not what day it is. It's Monday, right? So Tuesday, Wednesday. So my last day of work's Wednesday. So I'll be eating this time Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh, and I did contact my 13-year-old son. He'll be 14 this year. To come hang out with me this weekend, play some chess and read some philosophy. He's an amazing child for a 13-year-old. You can't believe what he's into. He's like, oh, I read Marcus Aurelius and I played some chess. He's sending me pictures of chess tournaments of who's the world chess champion right now? Can't think of his name. Marcus Aurelius is getting me messed up with this guy's name. Magnus. Oh, see, that's why. Magnus Carlsen is the world chess champion. He's sending me videos of Magnus Carlsen playing chess, and then he's sending me quotes from Marcus Aurelius. I'm like, this is an amazing 13-year-old. This is the kind of offspring I produce. My 19-year-old son, he's in college for computer science or something. I'm hoping in a couple years when the channel's big that he can be my editor and maybe my business manager. And so anyway, guys, yeah, I'm developing some merchandise, and might be opening up a store. Hopefully we can connect it to the channel, or YouTube actually has like their own store in it, but you got to be monetized. Maybe I'll just wait until I'm monetized, because it shouldn't be more than, I'm hoping by April 1st it's pretty close. I mean, if you guys will watch the videos, man, watch them all, watch the whole hour long. Just the one girl I'm talking to, or I'm going to call her my girlfriend in the Philippines. She said, oh, I just finished watching all your videos, and just after like a month, she watched them all. So it's a lot of hours, I know. But that's how you get monetized. And I'm only spending like $1,000 a month in advertising, so don't worry, I'm not gonna make any money for a long, long time. You only get paid like pennies on the hundreds of videos that commercials that your subscribers watch. So you got to be huge. You got to be huge. All right, guys. I think it's about time to jump on board with Jesus. I'm just looking over my notes from the last couple of days, because sometimes I'll have my notes and then I'll think, oh, I wanted to bring that up again when I so let's look just from a couple of days ago. This is one thing I was working on again today, is the negative self-talk. And not so much like you can't work on, like you can't try to not smoke, right? It's something you're not doing, not something you're doing. So you have to focus on what you are doing. And so if you're not being negative to yourself, like I just said earlier, and I caught myself and changed it. I said, well, if I can do this after April 1st, and I said, no, I am going to do this, and this is how I'm going to do it. And for the rest of the time after. So I'm learning. See, I'm developing a positive habit of, one, catching it, which I'm not saying I catch it every time, but I'm getting better at catching it. And I'm even, my friends, I have some coworkers that I consider pretty good friends, like really good dudes. And they help me catch it. They'll be like, hey, you just put yourself down, or hey, you just referred to yourself in a negative light or whatever, so it helps to have some people in your lives that care about you, people that that brings up another point, to surround, like if you're an alcoholic, like I was, and you go to the bar every day after work, like I did, and you sit there with the, 6, 8, 20 guy, and you're just all, the only reason you even know each other is because you're all alcoholics. And they're all great people. I'm not putting them down as human beings, but when you want to quit drinking, do you go there every day? Do you keep going there when you don't drink? When it's February 6th and you've had one beer so far this year, and you used to have, 24 beers at home to save money, because you're going to go to the bar and you don't want to spend so much, so you drink a case before you go. And now you drink one every 5-6 weeks. The point is, you have to surround yourself with not just positive people. Let's say you're going to not drink. Okay. So what do? You hang around with people that don't drink? It sounds right. And it is, to a point, to an extent. But what are you going to do? Because whatever you are going to do, like say run a half marathon, then you want to hang around with people that run half marathons, not just people that don't drink, or, some that you have things in common, but not just things in common, but the things you need to have in common is the positive mindset, the goal-oriented lifestyle. Like, it's such a conundrum on these dating sites, because it's almost like the fact that you're on a dating site makes you undateable, like, and I don't mean to put anybody down. I'm on a dating site. I don't go on it very often. I haven't looked at it in a while, because now I'm talking to a person that I'm going to travel halfway around the world to go see. But the point is, like, you're not going to find what you want there, like it's kind of like going to the bar to not drink and to, try to find somebody to go run your half marathon with, it's like, no, you got to get out in the world. You got to get off that dating site. And I mean, I'm not saying dating sites don't have their place. They do. Sometimes if you just broke up with somebody and you're heartbroken and you just want to move on, and you still love the ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, but it ain't right. It's just not compatible. They're narcissistic traits or whatever, they codependency, whatever the issues are, childhood trauma bonding, they're gaslighting, whatever it is. And you want to just go out on a date. And for me, I used to be honest with them. When I used to do this, and I would say, hey, I'm getting over my ex, and if you want to go out for dinner or lunch or whatever, sit down and chat about, dating and health and fitness is something I like to talk about. Obviously, that's why I started this channel. But dating sites can be an effective tool in that regard. You can, I'm definitely, don't go sleep around. Like I'm as fit and active as a man can be in that regard, but I don't sleep around. I don't want to be with multiple partners ever. I want one woman for the rest of my life, and every woman I've ever been with, I wanted her to be that one. And they haven't been yet. But I'm gonna find her, and when she returns that love to me, I'm gonna treat her like the queen she is. Um, but to get out and I've went out with several women like 2 summers ago before I started dating that vegetarian, and I told them like, hey, we'll just meet as friends and we'll have lunch and have a burger and fries and a beer, whatever, and chat for an hour and wish you the luck, best of luck. If something comes out of it, that's fine, but you set yourself up for success by just having little to no expectations as far as like, oh, we could possibly get married someday, and I'll be like, hey, do you want to talk about that? Because I definitely think there's a 1 in a million chance that happens, and then I said it to the vegetarian woman and we dated for like 3 months. And then I said, I think that 1 in a million is down to like 1 in 1,000, and then a few months later, it was like, I think it's back to a 1 in a million. We did not, we didn't hit it off, but we tried, guys, So what do you guys think? I've been going to a tanning booth a lot. I know, don't tell me how bad it is for me. I know it is, but it doesn't really show up on the camera. Guys at work are like, oh my God, what have you been doing? You're so tan. I'm like, I don't even notice. But I leave my socks on when I'm in the booth. Because I just want it to look funny, and it kind of does. It kind of looks like I have socks on still when they're off, because it's several shades of whiter on my feet. Oh, there was something else I talked about, guys. The to lower your blood sugar significantly, but probably don't do this if you've been if you're on medications for anything. Don't do this, especially if you're diabetic and you're on metformin or a shot. Don't do this. But cinnamon oil, 100% pure therapeutic grade essential oil, cinnamon. If you rub this shit on the bottom of your feet, just like I did it last night, and I think it's why I was hungry today, because I think it lowered my blood sugar too much. I didn't even tip it over. I just like got a little on my finger like that, rubbed it on one foot, and then did it on the other foot. And God, it smells so strong. It's just awesome. My whole apartment smelled like cinnamon last night. It was wonderful sleeping. I don't know if you can eat this shit. I almost want to try it. Wait, I'm fasting. Can't eat it. Can't eat oil. All right, I'm just going to rub it on my eagle. He's going to be all cinnamony. Oh, man, what a great deodorant. They should make if I water that down with some fractionated coconut oil and just spray it all over. I don't know, though. You might attract the wrong kind of women. You smell like delicious snacks. Might be the kind of women I like, though. I'm attracted to almost every kind of body shape of women. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it just is what it is. It's just like I thought of it today when I was wandering around work, doing my job, pacing around. I gotta walk up and down these long machines. They're like 300 yards long, and check different things and make sure it's running right and make sure it's high quality. All right, guys, I'm trying to buck for the 1 hour stream. I'm only 2 minutes away. Look at that white tongue. I'm gonna go hydrogen peroxide, brush my teeth right after this and clean that all off. But that comes if you're watching live and you didn't watch the whole video, I talked about it earlier. It comes from fasting. You breathe out. Like if you lost 100 pounds and somebody says, well, where'd all that fat go? It mostly comes out of your breath. If you don't know, because your body is converting it for energy in your bloodstream especially when you're fasting. Like I said, my body's burning 0.71. If I use my metabolic rate, times divided by a pound of fat is 3,500 calories, and I have like a 2,500 calorie metabolic rate, basal metabolic rate. That's doing nothing. Burns 0.71 pounds, and I forgot about that because I said yesterday, if I go the 4 days at that rate, I lose like an average of 2.85 pounds of pure body fat, which is a lot. I almost want to get accurate size, because I know 5 pounds of fat is almost like the size of a loaf of bread. You know what I mean? And you think, oh, I have so much fat in, and it's like you really don't. Like it's so evenly distributed. It's a lot, but when you start losing, 3, 4, 5 pounds a week, or 3 pounds a week is a good amount to lose in a week. It's a lot of fat, and you let that accumulate over week after week after week. And like I said, with the I think I got it. This is the first time I ate 4 days. out of the 6 tries so far that I wanted to continue it the next 4 days. Every time I didn't have good enough results or I just didn't like it and it was either overeating or over snacking or just felt tired and like you just ate Thanksgiving. People always talk about tryptophan and shit. Like that's what makes you tired at Thanksgiving. It's like that has nothing to do with it. The massive, massive dump of insulin that just went into your bloodstream and crashed your blood sugar because you just spiked it up, and it can, assuming you're healthy. If you're pre-diabetic, it's going to spike it up and stay up, and you freaking pass out from having high blood sugar. But either way, it's either you're gonna have such high blood sugar that it's going to pass you out, or it's going to crash back down and it's going to crash you out. So, but it's mostly because your blood sugar's high because you overate. I mean, I even at a 315-pound dude, I rarely like would get a big plate of dinner and eat it and then go get another one and then go get pie and then go, and then had already eaten hors d'oeuvres for 4 hours. You never do that, and then you do it one day and it totally knocks you on your ass. And then they talked about tryptophan. You could take hundreds of milligrams of tryptophan and it wouldn't do shit to you. I mean, it's a mild, relaxant. Not enough for the way you feel at Thanksgiving dinner. That brings up it just brings a thought to my mind though, like the way you eat at Thanksgiving, you eat until you're just sick, until you just feel like shit, right? I mean, and then depending on, it seems like families have fallen apart nowadays, but if you still get together with your family for Christmas and Thanksgiving and different holidays and birthdays, I mean, God bless you. It's family is the most important thing on this planet. To eat like that, that's how I ate. As far as like, I didn't go back for 3, 4, 5 plates and dessert, but like I just had like a bag of chips and just eat the whole thing, like just totally unhealthy, where you're just continuing to eat until you just feel like garbage. Like I'm going to quit eating because I feel like crap. Otherwise I just keep eating. And then a few hours later, when you don't feel like shit, you're not hungry. It's like you're not sick from eating. Then you eat more. And that is the biggest reason I think, well, I know that this is why these small meals are working for me, because they're changing. I guess you can't really change that negative habit. Well, like you can just not do it. You know what I mean? Like, but like I said earlier, it's hard to like actively not do something. You're just not doing anything. So what are you doing? What you're doing is the new habit. So my new habit is small meals. And if I'm going to eat, how don't let life, if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm not saying don't go and eat that way. If you want to do that once a year, twice a year, like I go to my sister's where my dad also lives, and her nieces and nephews and husband and a bunch of friends come over, and sometimes my kids and me, and when I was married, my ex-wife and everybody. And that's just Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's 2 meals out of over 1,000 if you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner the whole year. You're talking about 2. You're talking about 0.2%. You're gonna be all right. Don't ruin the day over that. Like I said before, like when my neighbor invited me up for New Year's Eve, luckily it was an eating day, but I started thinking, I might have even did it if it was a fasting day, and just said, you know what, it's worth it to spend quality time with friends, because fasting can last my whole life. I can, and talking about fasting and your whole life, do some research about like longevity in mice. I should look up this study so I can quote it better, but you could find it, or I'll find it for the next video or the next few videos. I better give myself time to check it out. But all they did was they put a bunch of food in a cage and they let mice eat as much food as they'd want, and they don't overeat too bad. They eat what they need. They're like cats. Dogs are, dogs will eat until they puke and then eat the puke and eat more and puke again and eat the puke. Dogs are messed up. You don't want to eat like a dog. That's why you got to portion dog's food. Anyway, this mice study. So mice, I don't remember how long they live. Let's just say they live a year or a year and a half. I don't remember how long a mouse lives. But I did read this study. And all they did was split the mice in half, and they let this half continue to eat their normal amount of food that they wanted to eat. And then they figured out how much that was. Let's just say it's so many kilograms or so many grams of food a day. Then they fed these mice, portioned, and gave them half the amount of food. And you would think they're having less nutrition than they're naturally eating, because mice don't know to go on a diet. They just eat naturally, right? So they portion controlled these other mice, not 10% less, not a quarter less, half the amount of calories. And they lived twice as long. The mice that got half the food lived much longer. It almost makes no sense to just say it. But when you do more research, when you read these books, when you read, I'm going to say you should read all of Dr. Jason Fung's books. He's not the most exciting author in like Audible, like when you listen to his voice on YouTube and Audible, but the information is just priceless. As far as, it's a little more technical without being, too scientific-y, without being Bill Nye, the science guy, about it, and just saying, hey, these are the hormones that can release in your body. These are the chemicals that cause you to be hungry. These are the hormones that cause you to be full. This is what happens to the insulin and the sugar and the carbs and the fat and the protein, and explains all the processes in your body. And then, he's got books about fasting, intermittent fasting. So like in the fasting books, he'll tell you it increases your testosterone. It increases your growth hormone. It stops the protein resynthesis program. Like your body breaks down protein every day and replaces it with the new protein that you're eating. When you stop eating, it stops doing that. Because people, your body breaks down protein. So if you stop eating, it's just going to keep breaking down your muscles and you're going to lose muscle. Bodybuilders know nowadays, like even bodybuilders that take steroids, fast occasionally, like 24 hours, 48 hours, because they know one big thing it does is boost testosterone and growth hormone. And that's why they're on steroids, to boost those two things. So fasting increases it even more. So it makes you understand how the mice could live longer then, because it's actually strengthening their body to find food. And then it strengthens them so much that it causes you to live longer. It's a natural mechanism programmed in mammals, at least. I'm sure they haven't done any dietary studies on roaches or anything, but I'm sure it would affect all of God's creation. I mean, his creation is pretty equal across all planes. It all is in line with the Word of God, his natural will, his natural laws. And that's why I wanted to read the book of Leviticus today. And I was like, God, I really need to read like the whole 11th chapter. And then it was just, I started reading it because I'm not a fast reader. And I was like, it's going to take me too long to read it. But maybe I'll pick out like 3 or 4 verses and I'll just read them every day for like 3 or 4 days or something and get through that. It's not a long chapter or anything, but it's just, you can go read it yourself. It's just yakking about the food laws. Like it just says, hey, these are the beasts that you're supposed to eat. Like cattle, they have a cloven hoof and they chew the cud. You see cow doing that, it's because they have 2 stomachs. The food goes into one stomach and gets all full of digestive enzymes and juices. Then they regurgitate it back up, chew it again, and then it goes into the other stomach. Those are the animals that you can eat, as far as like cattle. And then it shows how, if it's cloven footed, but it doesn't chew the cud, you can't eat it. If it chews the cud, but it's not cloven hooved, you can't eat it. And it lists all the birds you can eat and can't eat. It lists all the seafood you can eat and can't eat. Seafood, for example, I love crab legs. Lobster's okay. I'm not a huge fan of lobster. Shrimp are great. I'm trying to think of seafood I like. That's like I'm kind of leaving out a little information that the Bible says, like oysters, snails. What are some of the other ones? Clams, like fried clams. Those are awesome. Anyway, those are all unclean food as far as the Bible is concerned, and it is. It's Zach, are you saying I'm going to go to hell or I'm a bad person if I eat crab legs? No, they're delicious. I'm going to eat them. I might eat them next week now that I brought them up. My point is, they're not healthy. They're not as healthy as the clean meat that the Bible says is clean meat. It says this is clean. This is an abomination. Like, why would shrimp be bad? Why would crabs be bad? Why would lobsters be bad? Because they eat poop. Like it also says don't eat buzzards and crows and animals that like they're cleaning animals. These animals God put on earth to clean the bottom of the ocean, to clean the ground. Like buzzards eat corpses. So don't eat buzzards. And that sounds obvious, right? Well, nobody eats buzzards. Well, that's what a lobster is. That the lobster is the buzzard on the bottom of the ocean. They're just on the bottom of the ocean. There's just death and carnage raining above 24/7, and the guts and shit that comes down, and they eat it all. And then we eat them. Not healthy. Not good. Vegetables, I think, are good, although I can't really find it in the Bible. If somebody could help me out with that. I know where Jesus was walking with the disciples and they cut through a cornfield and it says the disciples were gleaning corn from the field and eating it as they were walking. So I know they ate corn. He broke bread and fish. Oh, Leviticus, by the way, for fish, for seafood that you can eat, it has to have scales and fins. It has to have both. If it has scales but not fins, or fins but not scales, then it's an abomination and unclean. It's funny too the way it describes, because this is Old Testament law, but it'll describe, like, let's say it says don't eat pork, or but if you even touch it, you got to like wash your hands and take a bath and get outside the camp for a day, and then you're clean and you can come back. But it's emphasizing how unhealthy some of those meats are, some of those animals are to eat. And then it's saying which ones are healthy. So what's the word though? Is it called ruminant? I think that's the word for those animals. Like if an animal is cloven footed and chews the cud, which has two stomachs, I think that word is ruminant meats. So all those animals, like cattle, like a horse. Does a horse's hoof? It's not like cloven. It's a big. So I don't. I'd have to look that up if horse is clean meat. But anyway, we wanna eat healthy food, and that all got started because I was saying I'm eating a lot less meat for the two reasons. One, it costs more, like per volume, because like, if I was going to eat only ribeye steaks, which are my favorite steaks, medium rare, pink Himalayan sea salt, maybe some pepper, don't even need it. Sometimes, throw a little butter and rosemary and thyme, but don't need it. Just the steak with the salt is amazing. I love horseradish too. That's hot horseradish with ribeye. But like I said, one big juicy ribeye, like a 12 ouncer, 14 ouncer, that's like 1,000 calories. So there goes your half stack of chips for your steak. And I'd still want to eat. I'd still be hungry because it just doesn't, you lose weight like crazy on it. Like if you can eat a ribeye steak and that's all you eat every day, you will be ripped in no time. I know it's a fact. And I've tried to do it. There was a guy at my work, this is probably like 10 years ago, but he had a big beer belly and he was a younger guy. I think he was some type of South American, Central American, might have been even Puerto Rican. I can't remember. He was a super nice guy. I can't remember his name, Rodrigo or something. But anyway, he had this, big beer belly. And there was a cute girl got hired there as an intern, and she's in the office, and somebody else teased this guy in front of her. And it was very mean to do. And the guy, was so humiliated, embarrassed, to be called fat in front of this beautiful woman, younger woman. 6 months later, that dude was skinny as a toothpick. And it sucks. Like I've said it in some of my other videos, like how it sucks how you need this negative. Like for me, it was getting diabetes. I weighed 315 pounds. I got diabetes. That same year, I weighed 245. About where I am now. Because I had this big shock, and for him, it was a public humiliation that drove him. And so I wasn't like super good friends with the guy or nothing. So I didn't talk to him every day, but we just happened to be walking by each other one day in the plant. And I stopped him, and I can't remember his name. I'm just going to say Rodrigo again. Something like that. And I stopped him. I'm like, hey, man, hey, let's talk for a second. Like this, I'm talking, his stomach was way out here to flat. Like 250, of no muscle, just a fat guy, just an overweight guy with no muscle. to like 150 in no time. And I said, and I jokingly said, "What are you on, the steak a day diet?" And he kind of had his head down because we were just walking. And he looked up. He's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing." He was eating only a steak, and he ate any kind of steak. He just said he'd go buy a big steak at the because ribeyes are a little more expensive. But this is 10 years ago, so they weren't as bad then. But if you've looked up, like meat and eggs and the healthy food, they're making it super expensive because they don't want you to eat healthy. You can still buy, a big box of poison for $5 and pig out on it for days. It's just refined sugar. Just terrible for you. Terrible. So that works too. Like I said, this channel is about getting you motivated to do it, and whatever it is, just do it. You get, check out Zach every night and say, "What's Zach doing?" He's doing it. What is he doing? Doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. If it's working, then keep doing it. If it doesn't work, like I said, I like the OMAD diet because I got to feed my face one big huge meal. It's like if you ate all these 2,000 calories at once and you did not cheat the other 23 hours out of the day, you could almost eat. I don't even want to say it, but it is true because there's a dude made a documentary about it. And he even ate like double this, but he ate it all at once and even really shitty food. And he lost weight. His body fat percentage went down. His cholesterol went down. His blood pressure got better. And he even ate shitty food. And he was making a point that this intermittent fasting works so good that I could even way overeat shitty food. And he would still throw in the salads and some protein, but he would eat the bad food also. Let's just say Big Macs or whatever he ate. And he ate just like, 8,000 calories of them all at once. And he lost weight and felt great. And he was under the supervision of a doctor. And his point was, well, what if you did this exact same thing then with healthy food? He was a personal trainer and he knew he could get himself back into rip shape no matter what happened. He was just doing it as an experiment. And he did it for 30 days. And, he lost weight. And so when I did it, I had watched that video 3 summers ago, when I first, it was before I was dating a woman, but it just never got serious to where I didn't really commit. I never got heartbroken. It wasn't like a heart of enough love in the relationship to get me to go like I need to get ripped or anything. But anyway, I'd watch that and I started doing like the OMAD, but with just real low carb. And then when I threw in the 72-hour fast, I lost 50 pounds in 2 months. And it wasn't even that hard. It's like I fasted from Sunday night to Wednesday night every week. It's very easy because, you just know Sunday dinner is your last meal. Wednesday dinner is your next meal. That's 72 hours later. Then I eat Wednesday night, one meal. Big meal. I mean, huge meal, but very low carb. And then Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So 5 big meals. I would eat like a huge ribeye steak. Like that'd be the first thing because I just went 3 days without eating. So I'd want to eat a big steak. And then that's 1,100 calories. And then I'd eat like a whole cantaloupe and then a pint of strawberries and then, 4 ounces of almonds, which is like, 600 calories. I ate a ton of food all at once. And I'd just be so stuffed I just lay down in bed. And it still worked. I still lost because it was all healthy food and low carby. And then with the 72-hour fast in there. But I also worked out a lot. I'm stepping up my working out. That's why I really wanted to get back onto the running because it seems to be the consistent thing that I can do all the time. That is a big aid to your metabolic, to your basal metabolic rate. To add in when you run, especially when you do like HIIT, when you get your heart rate up, when you get breathing heavy, that oxygen. It doesn't just go into your lungs; it goes everywhere in your body. And when you do a hard cardio workouts, that oxygen is gone and it's hard for your body to replace it. You don't just, oh, the oxygen's back in my body. No, it takes your body like 2-3 days after that hard HIIT workout. So for me, it would be like I'm out jogging and then I run a sprint and then I jog and then I run a sprint until my heart rate just pop, 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 like 4 or 5 times in the middle of a jog. That's it. That's HIIT training. That's high interval training. And so then it raises that metabolic rate for the next few days. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a mathematician to figure out if you did it once every few days, a hit workout, um, that you're just increasing your fat burning, calorie burning, which is, ends up being fat burning 24/7. To even when you're not working out, even when you're sleeping, even when you're, sitting making YouTube videos, whatever you're doing, you're burning fat at a higher rate. So when I said the other day, 0.71 pounds times 4 days, I'll lose 2.85 pounds. I wasn't even counting that. I have a job there. I'm walking around all day. I mean, I put 10,000 steps in half of my work day. I don't think my Fitbit works anymore. I should buy a new one. Them things got to be dirt cheap by now. The little step counting things. And so that's just at work. Then I hit the gym, averagely every other day. If you've been following along since day one, I say the days I went to the gym, I say the days I don't. Now, the days I don't go to the gym, though, I do the yoga. So I'm doing something every day. And then it's freezing cold out. But when it's warm out, and well, Minnesota, it gets dark in the winter at like 5:30, and it's starting to get a little light, starting to stay light out a little later now. But I get off work at 6:30. Well, if it does not getting dark till 9:30, I get home and just hit the trails right here. I'm right on a river with walking paths and parks, and there's bridges you can go across the other side of the river and walk down, and there's trails and parks, and there's even like bigger nature preservation areas nearby my house where I could walk there, even if it's an hour away. I wouldn't care. Walk over there for an hour, walk around a park for an hour, and then walk back for an hour. And that's the kind of things I do. Like, Zach, you go for 3-hour walks? It's like, yeah, I do. I go for 5. I go for 10-hour walks. When I'm hiking the Superior Hiking Trail, I've literally got up in the morning before it was light out, packed my shit up and left, and hiked all day till night in the middle of the summer. So, it was dark in the morning, and it was dark when I got there, back to the camp, or to the next camp. Like, uh, I think I put maybe 20 miles. I'm not hauling ass. There's guys way better shape than me that can go way farther than me. I'm not, definitely no bragging rights or nothing. I'm just saying that's how you can really increase the effectiveness of these diets and these regimens. But working out is the secondary portion of it. You never want to start working out to lose weight. That is not where to start. You start in your mind. Don't even bother worrying about what you're going to eat or what you're going to do for exercise. First thing you need to do is start getting your head right. Read the Bible. Maybe find a church or a just like YouTube videos, of a pastor that's giving positive motivational messages to get your mind right, get your spirit right, get your spiritual life in balance. Let the things of the past go. Start realizing that you're going to take care of yourself. And but I am a big fan of these Audible books. Like, you can just pump these positive messages into your brain all day. So, if you got a little earpiece in at work, maybe just one ear so you can still hear, and you got it turned up enough just to hear what they're talking about, and listen to them for hours and hours. When I'm driving, I always listen to them. Like, if I go on a long drive, it's like a 4.5-hour drive to where I go hiking, camping, way up in northern Minnesota. I'm more in southern, central Minnesota. I'm listening to audiobooks the whole way up there. It's kind of funny too, because like, if I'll have an Audible book that's 8 hours long, and I'll hit play and take off, and I'm still hiking when it's done. It's awesome. And I got a 50-pound pack on. Man, it's making me want to get out hiking. I'm hoping my buddy, we're planning the Boundary Waters canoe area trip coming up here this summer, and I transferred the labor of planning the trip onto him, because I was planning my trip to the Philippines, and it was overwhelming me to plan 2 trips and 2 big vacations at once, and they're close proximity, April and May. And so hopefully he gets that all done within the next week or 2, and we got that in the books and locked down. We both already took the vacation off of work. We're ready to go. There's another one, man. I hope I can get some good footage up there, maybe see a moose or catch some fish, and we'll be out canoeing and fishing during the day, and then building a campfire and hopefully eating fish for dinner. And if not, we'll bring other food. I was telling him I'm gonna just bring real food. Like, he's talking about camping meals and shit. It's like, I'm not bringing no camping meal. I'm gonna bring a cooler full of steaks and a bags full of salads, and pack all your garbage out. You're fine. Yeah, hopefully get some good footage though. Like I'm obviously not going to have my healthy, wealthy, happy series. It'll just be the happy in the woods series. So that'll be amazing. Man, I don't even want to go off. You know why, guys? Because um even a couple live viewers, and I'm going on an hour and 25 minutes right now. It's all adds up to the what did I call it? The hours, the watch hours, the actually they have a better name for it. They have a more legally descriptive name to it, but it's like the eligible watch hours or whatever they call it. And it's like every minute I stay on is another 2 minutes because there's two people watching. And then I do notice like certain amount of people, like the longer my videos are, I have videos that are 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, all the way up to an hour. Now this is the longest one, way over an hour. But the longer the video is, even though most people don't watch a whole YouTube video, but some people do. And it shows a little curve on the analytics, and you can see like 31% of the people watch this whole video, or 10%, whatever it is. Well, because some people watch the whole video, it just makes the average longer than for the longer videos. Because if I got 669, I think I just hit 670 subscribers as we were talking here. And probably 100 of them watch any particular video, and then out of those 100, 10 of them watch the whole video. So if 10 people watch an hour and a half long video, I just got 12 and a half hours of watch time, and that is huge. That adds up to that 4,000. And I don't know where I'm at now. I think I'm at like 11 or 1200, but it's only been 2 months. December, January, February. Yeah, it's been 2 months since I started the channel, and it's been about month and a half since I started fasting and the 4-day rotation, the 4 days of fasting followed by the 4 days of eating. So I have thought about this too, and maybe I'll have another poll, which, by the way, please go vote on the poll. There's only 10 votes out of 670 people. How much weight will I lose? It's motivating me, guys. It says, hey, these people care. They voted. These 10 people care enough to vote. And of course, half of them voted that I'm only going to lose 30 pounds, which I'm going to have that beat probably by next week. So I think 40 is more realistic. 40 is like probably a money in the bank realistic, unless I like completely caved, which I'm not going to. 50 is a push. That plus 50 is even big because 218 will be 52 pounds. And yeah, that's going to be tough to get to, but it's going to be close. If, like I said, if I'm even within 10 or 15 pounds, it's that much closer than I was when I started. And since I'm not giving up, the April 1st is not a goal date. It's a intermittent date on the way to success. It's just so you have benchmarks and like I said, a goal, a target to aim your arrow at and try to hit that bad boy. And if you miss it, it's kind of the base definition of the word sin is to miss your mark. But see, the real sin is to then give up. We have to just keep trying, don't give up. Always repent for your sins, and always, don't give up on yourself either. So guys, I think I have to cut this off because I told you I had cotton chops an hour ago. Well, I haven't drank any water, and it is not getting better. It doesn't seem, the water in the air does not seem to be, consolidating itself in my mouth exactly. This video is going to be the same thing. Well, I got 2 likes so far, but I've seen so many people come and go. Yesterday's video, there was 15 people were on the live feed, at some point during it. And then when I got off, there was 1 like. Well, at least this time it's 2 likes. But I bet you it's going to be like 15 people again, and it's only 2 likes. It's like, come on, guys. You're not liking my video. Don't you like me? I think I love myself the way I am, the way I look, the way my mind is set, the way my body is changing and conforming. Do I want to be in better health? Yes. Do I love body fat? Nope. Why would you love body fat? I mean, like I said, Google life expectancy by body fat percentage. It's directly correlated to your life expectancy. Um, so, people say, love yourself for who you are. Who you are is not body fat. You're not even your body. So how could you be your body fat? So don't, it's an excuse for, and I see it more embraced with women and in women. You never see a commercial about a big, beautiful guy, we seem to be judged much harsher than women are, especially in America. But my point of that is that I'm not judging myself harshly because I know where I'm going. I know I've read the end of the book of Revelations, and I know who wins and who gets cast into the lake of fire and who doesn't, and whose name was written in the Lamb's book of life from the foundation of the earth. And the ones that he says, enter into my kingdom, thy good and faithful servant. And I know the ones he says, depart from me, for I never knew you. People that thought they knew him. Jesus, when did we see you naked and not clothe you? When did we see you hungry and not feed you? When did we see you homeless and not house you? When he said that you did not do it to the least of my followers, you did it not unto me. So let's get in line with Christ. Let's just give your life to the Lord. The Bible says, proclaim your belief that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that he died for your sins. It says, confess me before man. Jesus says, confess me before man, and I will confess you before the Father. So tell your friends, tell your family, you know what? I think there's something to this story about Jesus. There's books. There's books all over. Here you go. Here's one right here. This is a non-Christian book. This is a history book written, the book of Josephus. Time of Christ, time of the Roman Empire. Documents Jesus was there. They didn't believe he was God. Why would they make up somebody that they don't think is God? They didn't. They saw him there. I mean, where else? What else we got? What other religion? How about the Holy Quran? Do they believe that Jesus was there? Yeah, they do. Jesus was in Jerusalem. You know why they know? Because they were there. They didn't start the Quran wasn't written until 611 years after Christ died. But they knew he was there because they were there. Jesus was there. Jesus was definitely, Roman history, he was there. Syrian tablets, he was there. All the stories in the Bible, the 12 tribes of Israel. Well, they just weren't there? You don't believe the Bible history? Well, Babylonian history says they captured the tribe of Judah. Syrian history says they captured the 10 northern tribes. It's in their history too. It's not just Bible history. It's world history. It's fact. Can you hear that train? I love that train. That thing just lights up. There's like 20 intersections coming right down the middle of town. This town is so laid out, messed up with the way this train track. It blocks every road in the entire town. There's a river on one side, then there's a freeway. Then everybody's got to get to this freeway to get to the main road, and this train goes right down. And it's a switch. It's a local switch train, if you know what that is, where, like 30, 40, 50 cars are getting switched out to get dropped off at different companies, whatever's in the trains. They come to my job too, right down the road. They bring us like the rocks that go on roofing shingles. You got a shingle, and then it has asphalt, and then it has all the little crushed rocks in there. So we get a bunch of rail cars of the asphalt and the rock. I don't know what we get. Probably shouldn't say what my job does. Oh my God, guys, we blew by the hour and a half mark. It's probably way past my bedtime by now. Oh my God, it is. It's 10:50. We have to go, guys. The train's gone. The joy is over. Jump on board with Jesus. He has the victory over all of our enemies. He said, behold, I give you power over all the power of your enemies. That means we have powerful enemies, but we have a more powerful Father in heaven and his Son, Jesus Christ. So jump on board with Jesus because he loves you. I love you. And I'll catch up with you guys again tomorrow night.